Hi, Duggan. Okay, so we are trying to figure out whether or not the first semester 5K times are faster than the first semester 5K times. Our null hypothesis is that the first semester and second semester 5K times are the same, and our alternative is that the second semester 5K times are slower than the than first semesters.
So basically how we got data is we wanted to look at the Skyline 5K times and only Skyline students. So we emailed Ms. Shelberg and Mr. Highland, and they sent us the predicted times from first semester and the predicted times of second semester. So that's how we gathered it, and then we decided to look at 2 pages of each, and they're not like ordered by time or by like anything like that. So it was like random, so there was no bias, and yeah.
So our N1, so the sample size for our for first semester was 263, and then our N2, the sample size for second semester, was 256 students.
So they were pretty similar, so like no caution with that.
Yes. We had a few outliers for both samples, but because our sample sizes were so big, because they were over 100 or over 30, we didn't take those into account because they didn't really do anything to skew our data.
Okay, so for fall, there were 263, what is that called? Subjects? Something. Okay.
Subjects.
N1 was 263. There was an outlier at 45. And it was mostly normal, with exception to like the very beginning. The very end, S was 4.45682, and X bar was 29.4199.
Spring, also known as our second sample. So N2 was 256. We had outliers at 17.53, 38.15, 38.54, 39.49, 40, 42, 47.02. It was mainly normal except for those outliers at the end and the one at the beginning. S2 was 4.45682, and the X bar was 28.5688. The degree of freedom that we used was 515.763. Our p-value was very low at 0.036944. Our t-value was 2.09181.
And then we decided to pick a confidence or an alpha of 10%, because we want to avoid type 2 there.
So basically type 1 would be that we think that first semester is faster than second semester, but it's actually not. They're the same. And type 2 would be that we think they're the same, but first semester is actually faster, which we concluded was worse.
Yeah, so we chose 10 so we can avoid the type 2 error. And for our confidence interval, we found that the lower would be 0.180641, and the upper would be 1.52147. So we can be like 90% confident that like the true mean falls between those two.
So originally we thought that second semester would be slower than first semester, but according to our data, the average mean, or like the mean of both of the sets of data, first or second semester was actually faster by over a minute compared to first semester.
And we thought that first semester would be faster because usually by second, like students' second semester or like when they take a third semester of PE, they figured out that like all of the times that you get on your runs are what the PE teachers base your 5K time off of. So if you like are smart and you figure out how to work the system, then you go really slow on all of your runs, then you have a really slow 5K time, so you'll like pass it no matter what. But a lot of kids in their first semester don't know this, and that ends up also being a lot of freshmen. It's like they do want to try really hard and everything, whereas like second semester you would get seniors who are off to college and like don't really care at that point. So that's kind of why we thought there'd be a difference.
Another reason could be the weather, because oftentimes during like first semester it's September through January, so a lot of times during those runs it's a lot colder weather, so it doesn't really impact compared to second semester, which is February through June, where as of course this year we've seen a lot of hotter temperatures throughout those months, so it makes it a lot harder to run it.
And when it's hotter, PE teachers have actually given extended times. Like they were in the 5K once and it was like 90 degrees, so they added a minute buffer because you will run slower in the heat and it's just a lot harder on your body. So that's why we thought that would happen, but that ended up not being the case, obviously. So our conclusion is that first semester is actually slower than second semester. So it's slower than second semester, and we don't really know what this could be due to. I mean, this could be due to weather. Maybe it's like a reverse thing.
It could just be the people in the class be like more athletic during second semester. It depends on the class and who's running the 5K for sure.
And you have a lot of breaks in first semester, so like times when you kind of get off your run schedule, because you're definitely kept on a tighter run schedule second semester because there's less breaks and you can usually run outside more.
Because of the weather.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Here, let me look and see if there's any other big things that...
Oh, we need to say like that we rejected.
So we're rejecting the null hypothesis.
Because our p-value is 0.03 something. That is clearly lower than our 10% alpha.
And then one thing, kind of going off one of the questions on the sheet, if we could like change anything about the process, would maybe be dividing it up with like age groups. Because like, I know it could be argued that like a freshman would run better or worse than a senior, or we could look at it like gender-wise to compare times, because the fastest guy's time is a few minutes faster than the fastest girl's time. So maybe kind of breaking it down to be a lot more specific, and I think that'll definitely be like, that would be something to look into if we were to do this again. And then we kind of learned from this experience that, what did we learn?
Because we're in second semester PE, we're actually faster than all the first semester people, so...
we thought we were a lot slower.
Maybe it's our class, I don't know.
Yeah, we learned that, I don't know,
It can be applied to real life,
Yeah.
which oftentimes during math, we're like, when am I ever going to use this? But
Yeah.
we just did.
Yeah, and you can find out like interesting things and stuff that's like applicable to your life, because like we're in PE, we have to do the 5K. And then it just takes a lot of work to do this kind of stuff. And making sure that there was no bias and everything was random. But yeah, it's pretty fun. 10 out of 10.
5 out of 5 for points on this video.
Thanks, Duggan.
Thanks.
Hope your
Bye.
baby's doing good.
Have a great summer.